Juan's Valdez. We're about 4 days out now from the NPC West Coast Classic, and I'm doing open bodybuilding. So for this show, I'm looking to come in harder, tighter, fuller. The main difference I want to bring in is some, tighter glutes and hamstrings, and actually be able to hit a proper peak to where, everything ties in together. So being 4 days out, this is probably the first time I've competed. This is the first time I've competed back-to-back shows. So it's different because I stayed lean. I was already lean at the start of this prep, and I'm lean at the end of it, so we kept my body around the same place. I've been tired all the way throughout, but because I wasn't cutting the entire time, I feel like I got pretty used to being at this weight. So I feel pretty good. I feel pretty locked in. I feel like I'm gonna come in more conditioned, and we're gonna be able to fill out harder. The best part about this prep was that I already started off the prep lean, so I didn't have to worry about cutting weight the whole time. Really didn't have to tax my body too hard in certain ways, and we were able to train twice a day for basically the entire prep and cover some ground that'll hopefully get me ahead of some of the other athletes. At the same time, the worst part of this prep is that because I was already lean at the beginning, I never had a surplus of glycogen. I felt very tired from the start all the way through the end. I was never really strong. I was never really pushing heavy weight. So it was difficult. I had to get used to staying lean. I had to get used to being low on energy. But it was definitely a mental battle that I think I got through.
Alex Michael, open bodybuilding, super heavyweight. 4 days out from the NPC West Coast Classic. Making my return to stage since my last time competing was 2023. What I'm looking to bring to stage this time is an improved package from the last time. Had a few injuries, had a few setbacks, had a few light things that we had to take care of last year. So we're looking forward to getting that momentum back, getting on stage, pushing it. Definitely bigger, harder, more conditioned this time around. Feels good to be in this position, feels good to be 4 days out. The best part of this prep is being back on that horse, man, getting back into the groove of things, getting back close, getting in shape, feeling like you ready to compete. It's a lot of work that goes into it before you get to the actual show day. So to be close to this point, man, I'm fortunate to be here. I would say there are no bad sides of it to me. Everything it is what it is. The diet, the cardio, the training, it's all what makes it worth it in the end. And I plan to win the whole thing. That's just how it is. Like I said, 4 days out. Look forward to a good showing. Thank you.
My name is Schaefer, and I'm 4 days out from the NPC West Coast Classic. I'm going to be doing men's physique. I hope to bring like a pretty complete package. It's my first show, so I'm pretty excited to see what I could bring in terms of conditioning and size. I think it'll be a fun experience. I hope to take on the novice overall and the overall, so I think I got a pretty good shot. Been working pretty hard this prep. I don't really know, to be honest, how I feel. Got a couple days left, and a lot could go wrong in a couple days, so got to stay locked in. And I think I'll finally have that sense of relief after the show, and once I get the results that I want. But I think we're looking at doing another show after, so the show goes on. I'd say the best part of this prep has been learning a lot about myself, mentally and physically. I thought I knew a lot before, and I continued to learn in this short amount of time. I only prepped for 10 weeks, 10 and a half weeks for this show. I went from 230 to weighed in this morning at 192, let's call it. So it was pretty quick prep in terms of a bodybuilding prep. So I learned a lot about myself and what my body can do, both mentally and physically. Had great training partner Hans help me out along the way, all the tips and tricks. Now we're training peak week with Alex. It's great being around bodybuilders who know what they're doing. So last time my answer was laundry, and that point kind of still stands, but on top of that, I'd say probably doing the dishes as well. So dishes and laundry are probably the two hardest parts of this prep. I don't mind the diet. The cardio is tough some days, but it's just putting one foot in front of the other. I love working out, so that's never been tough. Just the laundry and the dishes are definitely a bummer.
If you don't know my name, you're on the wrong channel. How many competitors do I have competing in the West Coast Classic? I have no idea. I know it's more than 10. Am I excited for this weekend? No, I'm not excited for this weekend, not at all. Why am I not excited? Because it's not my day, it's the kids' day. They the one that get to shine in the sun. I get to watch them, but it's not my day. I don't really like when coaches are all up in the video, in the camera, dancing. I'm kind of like in the shadows, you know. I have my day, and it was a good day. Now it's time for the kids to play in the sun.
Do you have any competitors that surprised you?
Do I have any competitors that surprise me? Well, in my book, you know, doing a show is like child support. You don't get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. If you signed up for the show, you're supposed to do it, and you're supposed to win, and you're supposed to look your best, and you're supposed to give it your all. So you don't get credit for doing the normal. And normal is 100%, because bodybuilding doesn't pick anybody. Everybody in bodybuilding, they pick bodybuilding. And bodybuilding's a selfish bitch, and you gotta treat her with respect, or she will have you in the shower crying, asking yourself, why me? So, no, nobody surprised me in a positive way. Some people surprised me in a negative way. Some people I thought they were really gonna do well, they didn't. And this bodybuilding is, to me, it's more, we only see the physical part, but when you get ready for a show, it's all about mental. It's to show how mentally strong you are. If you're not mentally strong, your body's gonna show that. It's gonna show how strong you are. So, you know, I'm happy for certain people and disappointed in other people, but that's them. Maybe they'll learn from looking bad on stage, and they'll do better next time. And maybe the ones that do look great on this time will know, hey, I have a place in this sport if I choose to, and they'll look even better next time. And they'll keep evolving and influence others. Why do I love the sport of bodybuilding so much? For me, bodybuilding was the hardest thing I've ever done, because it was the only thing that I ever, and I played all sports except lacrosse and polo. Every other sport, like you play football, you go to practice, you watch the film, and you have the game, and it kind of stops there. Basketball, the same thing. You watch the film, you go to practice, you play the game. Bodybuilding was the only thing I ever done that was 24 hours, 7 days a week. And you might think there is no off season. It's still 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's continuous, and any slip up, the average guy can pass this other guy with massive genetics, with great genetics. He can be passed by somebody that's mentally stronger than him or her. And that's the thing about it. And once you conquer the sport of bodybuilding, you'll learn that anything in life is easier to you. When you can control what goes in your mouth, when you can control your energy output, when you can say no when everybody else is saying yes, when you can say yes when everybody's saying no, you have control over your life totally. And any and everything in life is secondary to that. When you can be under pressure for 15, 24 weeks, under this pressure, relentless pressure, when you come into the gym alone and everybody's at the pool and everybody's at the party, when you go somewhere and everybody's eating different food than you and you say no, that just shows how much control you have over yourself and your body, and your whole world will follow. So that's why I love bodybuilding, because it teaches you discipline. And anybody can be disciplined when people are watching, but it takes a special person to be disciplined when nobody's watching. When you're all alone, it's just you and that bag of Doritos, and you say, no, I'm not having that. No, I'm better than that, because I control my destiny, not the bag of Doritos. That's it. So we done here?